Hey there, I'm Nick, and in this video, I'll show you how to answer the STAR interview questions in the Amazon behavioral interview. I'm a former Amazon bar raiser who has interviewed hundreds of job candidates and determined whether Amazon should hire them or not. I have also certified many other bar raisers into existence, which means that I know very deeply what it takes to stand out in the Amazon interview process. Over the course of 7 different videos, I'm sharing with you a proven formula with which to get hired by Amazon, to remake your career, and earn hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process. In previous videos of our 7-day challenge, I've shared with you 1, how to prepare your Amazon resume, 2, how to ace the Amazon functional interview questions, and 3, how to prepare for Amazon's behavioral interview questions. In this video, I will unpack how to answer the Amazon behavioral interview questions by using the STAR framework, which stands for situation, task, action, result. And the most fun part is I won't be just moving my hands and moving air like many others do on this topic. I'll actually role play how to answer an Amazon behavioral interview question step by step so that you see exactly the very way Amazon evaluates candidates in their interview process today. I will start by explaining the STAR framework and sharing some basic STAR guidelines. In the situation section, you describe what was the context. In the task section, you describe what was the problem and what went wrong. In the action section, you articulate what steps you took to fix the problem. And in the results section, you quantify the output which came about as a function of your actions. So here are a few STAR guidelines next. First, you start off by providing sufficient context. This is especially relevant in the situation section. This means that you need to describe what was the year, what was the company, what was your role, what was your title. If the company is a well-known company like Tesla or Microsoft, you obviously don't need to explain what the company does, but you should still describe what was the team you're working on, what was your role, and what were your day-to-day responsibilities. That's where providing sufficient context would be very helpful. The next point is you need to be specific. Amazon has this analogy of the dentist game, meaning that similarly to when you go to the dentist and you sit in the dentist chair and they drill into your mouth trying to figure out if something's wrong, and they go more and more deeply asking you, does it hurt now? How about now? And they keep going as deeply as it needs to until you finally say, ouch, yes, now it hurts. So you should adopt the same strategy in describing what you've done. You have to be very specific and you have to go straight to that lowest level of atomic indivisibility of the answers that you offer. The third point I want to share with you is you need to illustrate every assertion with a couple of examples. Generalizations will kill you in the Amazon interview. Treat your interviewers as if they're third graders. Explain with 1 or 2 quick examples what you meant each time you make a general assertion. And the fourth and most important guideline is to use as much data as you can. You can never use enough data in the Amazon interview. Whenever you think you've used enough data, you should triple it. Data is like catnip for Amazon's interviewers, so use as much of it as you can. The best type of data are numbers, obviously, dollars, and using data is going to do a world of good to your interview performance. Okay, so now that you know how the STAR framework works and what the guidelines are you should follow, let's go through a role-playing exercise. I'm sharing with you a poor interview response here on the screen. So in this case, imagine you're interviewing for a marketing position at Amazon, and the Amazon interviewer is asking you to describe a time where you excelled and went above and beyond the call of duty in your job. As a result, you offer the following interview response. I'm going to read through this briefly for you. Happy and Bright hired me to help with their digital marketing strategy. Their products are great, but the problem is their competitors are established. I researched the competitors and found some great strategies. For example, we weren't using remarketing. I called my previous company, Greengrass Studios, to implement remarketing for us. Our conversion rate grew from 0 to 2%, which is a great conversion rate. So on the surface, this candidate has done a few things well. For example, they're using data. They're saying how the conversion rate grew from 0 to 2%. They're also providing an illustration by mentioning that the company was not using remarketing. But on balance, this is a very poor response. And if you provide this response in the Amazon interview, the interviewer is going to waste a lot of cycles trying to unpack exactly what you've done, and they're going to run out of energy most likely to determine if you raised the Amazon hiring bar or not. Each time that happens, you lose. You want the Amazon interviewer to instantly understand what you've done and comprehend the extent and the scope of your accomplishment, and spend their follow-up questions in the interview determining if you raised the Amazon hiring bar. So let me show you how you can rework this response in order to achieve exactly that. Here's a much better version. Happy and Bright is an e-learning company with STEM video products for 8-year-olds. It's based in the Netherlands and has 10 million euros in annual revenue. You can see how this is our situation section. For the sake of brevity in this video, I'll truncate each of the sections I walk you through, but the major elements remain. You see how in the situation section, I'm describing who Happy and Bright is, where they're from, what their product is. I'm using data, I'm using dollars to quantify the size of their business, and I can do this very quickly and give the interviewer a deep and data-based picture with illustrations as well to give them a sense of the type of work and the type of company that I come from. Next, I say that I was their head of performance marketing with 2 top goals. 1, to grow the annual revenues from 10 million euros to 15 million euros, and 2, to grow the number of partner primary schools from 350 to 750. That's my task section. Here I outline what the problem is, and I'm using data. I'm using quantifiable data of 10 to 15 million euros is my new goal for revenues, and also I need to grow our partner numbers as well. Next, I move on to the action section, and I say how I benchmarked our digital marketing strategy versus 7 other leading e-learning competitors who use 13 different marketing techniques. And I uncovered in the process that we were the only company that is not using remarketing. I evaluated the top 5 marketing agencies in the European Union and commissioned Greengrass Studios, which was one of them, who are such and such and such, to build remarketing for us. And here's exactly what they did. And I would explain briefly whether they built a brand new analytics solution for us, or they used something on Facebook or Google, or something different entirely. So you can see how in this action section, I'm going to go back 1 step. I'm using data. I'm saying 7 other leading e-learning competitors are using 13 different marketing techniques. There are 5 top marketing agencies in the European Union that I evaluated. And then I'm going to continue to scatter data points throughout the action section to illustrate the depth and the credibility of my statements. And then last but not least, as a direct result of our improved leads funnel, we closed 515 new partner schools, which led to 4.5 million euros in incremental revenues the following year, meaning I exceeded both my revenue and new partner goals. So there you have it. Use lots of data, both dollar-based or euro-based in this case. Use examples, illustrations, do not generalize. Provide specific step-by-step examples, not too many, mind you, maybe 1 or 2 for each assertion you make, but you have to give the interviewer a crystal clear idea of what it is you did and how you solved a tangible problem. Answer the so what question. Why did it matter to resolve this remarketing problem for Happy and Bright? Use data, show what's at stake, use dollars and euros in this case, and you're going to excel in your Amazon behavioral interview. So there you have it. Now that you know how to answer the Amazon behavioral interview questions via the STAR framework, you are ready for the next step in our 7-day challenge of landing a dream job with Amazon. That next step, step 5 of 7, is how to answer the question, tell me about yourself, in the Amazon interview. This is likely the most frequent question you're going to hear in your Amazon interview loop. And if you watch this next video here, I'm going to walk you through how to do so step by step. I'll see you there real soon.